Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It is May 19th when I'm recording this, and welcome to the free video. As always, if you guys are interested in how I look at the markets and the Moxie indicator, come over to simplertrading.com/Moxie. All right, so we now know what the market was waiting for this whole time. It was basically debt ceiling situations that Joe Biden came back, shortened up his trip from Australia to come back and get this stuff figured out. Kevin McCarthy said he's hopeful that a deal will work out by this weekend and stuff like that, and the market absolutely broke out. We can see that basically the market was in this pennant in through here. Let me change my color. There you go. Was in through this pennant and through here, and I was on the mic in the options room at the time that this was happening. I had those lines already drawn in, and the market started to move up and up and up, and the internals basically supported it. So interesting to see that. Then today seems there was a little bit more news about more debate about the debt ceiling and if they're going to be actually happy and stuff. So that's why people are saying the market went down. I think from a technical standpoint, it was just overbought. I mean, look at that. It was up. It was up a lot. There was a gap. It was extended. So from a technical standpoint, that's what I'm going to be looking at. Otherwise, this whole debt ceiling thing, we know it's going to get resolved. The question is just how or when or anything else like that. So we'll see how long this can persist. Things are looking fairly good. We know the Nasdaq is up. Now the Nasdaq might be a little extended. Actually, if we go here, we can see that we have reached a very high area up here. So I would be prepared for the market or some of the indexes to pull back, and we'll have to see what kind of effect that has on the market or the rest of the names out there. One of the things that I was looking at is I've been kind of focusing on the higher time frames because the market's been challenging recently, and a lot of people have been thinking, okay, we're really going to roll over, recession, we got the inverted yield curve, like trust me, all this stuff. And recently we were seeing the internals and breadth and all that kind of stuff start to crumble even though the market was going sideways. And so the question was, were these bad internals and bad breadth going to pull the market down? Well, or is it going to cycle underneath while the market goes sideways? Basically, is it going to fix itself via time instead of a correction? I think we have that answer now since we've seen the market kind of come alive, and we'll have to see if the internals and breadth actually starts doing better. But part of what's been making the market so difficult, other than the fact that it's been going down, like we've been seeing stuff like this, like Palantir go down for quite some time, is that they finally started to reach kind of this equilibrium. That price started to say, hey, this is what's fair value. We don't want to go down any further. And it can be difficult to trade stuff like that because there isn't a trend. It's literally going sideways. And so the trend is very short term. It's erratic because it's just going sideways. It's up, down, up, down, up, down. And what we can see is this has been a basing pattern that for almost a year, I mean, there you go, there's May. So there's May, and here we are again in May. So almost for basically a year, something like Palantir and a lot of other names have been going sideways. And this is a very long basing pattern. Good luck trying to trade stuff in there. But now look at this. That is a darn good breakout, and we're starting to see some things actually come alive again. And this is kind of the stuff that I'm looking at, and there are a fair number of names that are starting to do things like this, and we need to be aware of it. So for what I like to look at is we have price breaking over the monthly 10, and we have price, you can see here, this is the weekly 50, and price has then broken up over that, and the Moxie indicator has fired on the weekly time frame. Now we take another look at ARK, and again, say what you will about ARK and Cathie Wood and whatever, this is just an example and a proxy for certain kind of names and sectors out there. Doesn't this look a lot like Palantir? So if you think Palantir is a great name and that was a great move, then I'd be looking at ARK as possibly doing something similar sometime in the near future. But we can see here that it's basically been going sideways. A little dip there, fine. Inverted head and shoulders. But I'm looking at this and saying, yeah, it has had a heck of a time. It cannot get past that weekly 50. But what if it does one day? So instead of going down, and perhaps there's a double bottom right there, instead of going down, what if this thing actually starts to pop to the upside? So I think we need to be watching and looking at these longer term charts and be aware of some of the names out there. How about, just as some examples, how about Monday? What worked at Monday.com? Same thing, here's the level. It had its first pop, it came back, but now look, now it's up again. That might be something. start paying attention to these. These things might be actually coming alive again. And then AMD. So, okay, let's stick with a name that more people know and actually is a little bit more indicative of what the market's doing. Okay, well, what did it just do? It just came in here and tested the monthly 10 for support. Doesn't that look good? And if we actually look, there's the double bottom. There's the cross 8 and 21 again. There's the test of support. And look, we're making new highs. So these names that have this bear market and these bearish names, at some point stop going down and start moving up if they're going to be good trading areas. And so we need to keep our eyes on this. And then let me just show you, for example, that is not everything. That is not across the board. And we have to still be careful that even though something like this is data, that we still have to watch. Okay. So yes, it might be basing. Yes, there was a big move, but it can still give all of that back up, because essentially this is still sideways. We need to be careful that when they get overextended, they might pull back hard, and then we'll have to see if it can ever regain itself. So, they're not all going to be perfect like that. But then we can also look at something like Weight Watchers. And yeah, maybe you're not going to be trading something like this, or maybe it's like, what? Weight Watchers? Well, they've got a new deal, something about a new drug situation, and they're thinking pretty positively. Well, look at the amount of volume that came into this thing, and also look how it started to base, and now it's back up over the moving averages. Again, basing, Moxie indicator, and you've got price now up here. So there are things happening out there, and that's really just kind of what I want to do, is bring your attention to some of these other areas that maybe we're not looking at it. I understand that of course the market has pretty much been held up by the FANG stocks recently. It's like 5 or 7 stocks that are basically carrying the market, but some of these other names starting to come alive. So keep your eye out there. All right, everyone, thanks again, and we'll catch you at the next one. Hey, TG here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like or comment below. Also, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with my market analysis. Or you can join my free newsletter with the link in the description. Good trading, and I'll see you at the next video.